Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the pear and also the pear tree in itself, and I'll be telling you a little bit of some of the magical properties of it and some symbolism, um, some mythology, and then some folklore stories as well. And I think you're going to find this quite interesting, so let's go ahead. And the symbolic meaning of the pear's fruit is affection, health, and hope. And the pear's popularity started off in ancient Greece, China, and parts of Europe, and was linked to the divine and magical ways. In Greek mythology, the pear was sacred to Hera, the goddess of marriage, and Aphrodite, in the embodiment of love and beauty. Now, the ancient Chinese saw the pear as symbols of longevity and wisdom. And the resilience and ability of the tree to bear fruit for many years is what made it a metaphor for eternal life and a soul's endurance. Now, the Celtic and Druids saw the pear tree as a portal between the physical and spiritual realms. And they then became able to speak to their ancestral spirits. So, in other words, like mediumship. The pear's shape is linked to fertility because of the feminine shape that the fruit is shaped, and for that, it's a good reason, or the good reason why the pear has been used in many love spells. You can also place a pear on your altar, and that will represent having devotion and gratitude. Now here's one love spell using a pear, and it is that you are to cut it in half, and you write the names of two people on a small piece of parchment paper. And then you're going to be placing the paper between the halves and bind the halves together with a pink or red ribbon and bury the pear under a full moon to strengthen or rekindle a love. So now I have a folklore story about the pear tree and some crows, a flock, or a murder as you call, of crows. And this tale comes from Gloucestershire, England. And it tells of a farmer who had an orchard of pear trees that bore lovely fruit, which was always stolen by crows before the harvest. Now the farmer was getting fed up, so he applied some bird lime, a sticky substance once used to trap birds to the trees, and then waited for the birds. And then it waited for the birds to come. And when they settled on the trees, they became stuck and panicked. Now these crows, they started to panic, of course, and they all began flapping mightily until they had pulled the tree up by its roots and took off with the trees. A rainstorm washed all the lime, and one by one the trees fell to earth and took root again in a hedgerow. They are still there to this day, and no one knows whatever became of those crows. Did they fly off? Are they still landing in the trees? Nobody knows, but the trees are still there to this day. Now, another folklore is about a pear, and it is the Chinese flower of August and symbolizes purity and longevity. It also serves as a badge of actors and musicians. And the Chinese consider it to be bad luck to divide a pear between two people. I guess because, they see the pear as for longevity and wisdom and love. So I guess if they would say if you share the pear, then you're breaking off that wisdom, you're breaking off longevity and your love relationship. And one more here. In Europe and Asia, pear trees guard against evil spirits, and they were often planted by the gates or in the northeast corner of a property, as this was known as the Devil's Quarter. And to ask the impossible of someone is to ask an elm tree for pears. All right. To ask the impossible of someone is to ask an elm tree for pears. All right, so that is what I have on the pear. I hope you enjoyed it and may have learned a little superstition, a little bit of spells, a little bit of mythology, folklore. And I thank you and see you next time. Bye-bye.